What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers The Last Knight Premier Edition Leader Class Megatron. Now, this is obviously Leader Class Megatron. I do have the Voyager Megatron, which I think is actually a really solid figure. I like it quite a lot, and to the point where I was going to skip on this figure. But then I started thinking, I'm looking at the Voyager class, and I'm like, I really like this vehicle design, and I'm thinking back to how much I absolutely loved Leader Class Jetfire's jet mode, and I was like, yeah, I think I might need to get the Leader Class Megatron just to have that giant jet mode kind of feeling again, you know, just to get that little rush of energy from that, or whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So here it is, Leader Class Megatron. It is the Premier Edition, which means it has basically a wash of silver paint on it. This one does have the changeable face mask, which is good because this face looks really nothing like the movie Megatron, or even like the images that it shows here. He looks a little bit more, I don't know, lemon grabby, if I'm being honest. On the side here, you can see he is the Merciless Tyrant. Merciless Tyrant. There you go. And on the back, you can see the jet mode, which converts in 30 steps. All right, as well as an image of the robot mode with some hollow forearms and hopefully not gorilla arms, but I think he has wrist swivels, and of course the battle mask up in the corner, which is a little harder to see just because my my operating area is a little bit tight. Also look for Optimus Prime here, and there's a little blurb about Megatron, which I'll read to you because I love you. Megatron will never waver in his quest to revive the civilization that once thrived on Cybertron. As he returns once again, the Decepticon will stop at nothing until he has fulfilled his devious schemes, decimated all hope, and taken revenge on his ultimate nemesis, Optimus Prime. Okay, neat. And on the side, just tells you that it's a leader class, so you can feel justified in the money you spent. And I'm going to go ahead and get this guy open. He costs 50 bucks, and I bought this one at Toys R Us, so look for him there. In the meantime, I'm going to get this guy open, and I'll see you guys in just a moment. Alrighty, guys, so here is Leader Class Megatron in his vehicle mode, and it is really impressive, I've got to say right off the bat. I do like the vehicle mode quite a lot. In fact, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm having a hard time actually getting it all in my camera view here, just because of the largeness. So, yeah, quite impressive. Very, very impressive. I have not measured the wingspan as of yet, but it's over a foot, I would say. Probably 15 to 16 inches, if inches is your thing. Oh, you know what? I can actually get a little bit better measure here, and that's going to be just the way it goes. So it looks like roughly 40 centimeters, just under 16 inches. So, yeah, very nice, wide wingspan. Let's do super quick from head to tail here. Whoops, gotta do it on the right end here. And it looks like right about 14 inches, right about 36 centimeters long. So very, very nice, very, very large vehicle mode, which is, again, one of the main reasons I actually decided to pick this guy up. He does have a rubber nose cone here. And the big downside of this mode, I think, is actually got two downsides that I can think of right off the bat. One is the gimmick for his cannon. It's very, very light, very hair trigger on this thing, so it does tend to go off without much provocation. And the other one is that it does have a landing skid here on the front, and these two little guiding fins on the bottom, or stability fins, or whatever exactly they're called. But the chest does stick out just a little bit too far. So it doesn't really rest on those back fins at all. It rests on the center of the chest. And because it has this silver paint wash on it, I'm just worried that that's going to get scratched off. So just something to be aware of when you're handling the figure. You can store the sword on the back of the jet mode here. It doesn't peg in very far, so it will come out fairly easily, but it does stay on there without too much trouble, you know. You can also store the sword on the underside of the wings, right here. These are 5mm ports, so you can store the sword on there, and that will come more into play in robot mode. But for now, you got that going on. You can open up the cockpit for whatever reason, if that's something you're interested in doing. You can't really fit too much in there, but you can open that up, just, you know, just for the sake of doing so, I guess. You know, in case Megatron ever decides he really wants to be flown by a human at any point, you can open that up. And he does also come with some effects parts, which are really interesting. So you get 2 of these flame effect parts. They're just clear, kind of a neon orange, and they're both exactly the same. So you've got those, and you can stick those right in the back thrusters here, right in the rear of the vehicle. Just peg those right in. And now you can have this guy, you know, leaving a flame trail or a chemtrail or whatever kind of trail you deem most appropriate. And you can also open up the front here and bring out the cannon from his robot mode and stick one of the flame effects parts in there as well, in case you want him to be a flame-throwing, like, Uber jet sort of thing. But for now, we'll just kind of keep it simple. I'm going to take the effects parts off. We'll revisit those in robot mode, but we'll do a quick comparison here. I just want to show him off. Here he is with the Voyager class figure. So as you can see, he's quite large. Quite large. And they're not even really the same color. This guy's more of a dark black gray, whereas this guy's a little bit more of a blue gray metallic, and the kind of yellow gold on this guy is a lot more metallic-y and light, whereas this guy's a lot more like, I'm not even sure, like a mustard brown, less metallic color. And the cockpit is completely different as well, so I'm not even sure what the deal is there, but you know, it's fine, not a big deal. So yeah, there you have the size comparison there. So give me just a moment, and we will transform this guy into robot mode. Alright guys, before we get too far into transformation, I just did want to show off the paint job on this guy one more time. You do have all this nice, you know, silver dry brushing on here. You got some Cybertronian glyphs molded into the plastic there and painted, and as well as on the wings. So very, very nicely done. You got another, you know, silver wash on the wings as well, and along with this nice dark gunmetal plastic that they use throughout, and this kind of nice blue metallic that they've got on the intakes and other various bits and pieces underneath, you can see. And one more thing I just wanted to point out, the chest transforms a little bit strangely in that it does like compact down, but it doesn't quite look like you've got it down far enough. But, you know, I checked and double checked, and as far as I can tell, this is the correct transformation for the chest, and it is completely down. So just so you guys are aware. So anyway, transforming this guy, first of all, we want to go ahead and flip up the landing gear, and then we're going to go ahead and grab this whole wing section and just kind of lift this up just like so. And we'll do the same on the other side as well. Just like that. Okay. We're going to go ahead and rotate this thruster in just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and split the wing right here. You can see, so this guy is going to go down just like that, and then this wing is going to come forward and slide right into this section here, so it'll like look like it's coming around the side, and then you're going to turn it in just a little bit so that you can bring that whole wing section back just like that. Okie dokie, and then do the same thing on the other side here. I'm going to bring this section in just like that. Split these apart, bring this forward and just in there. Bring this down and then swing this around, and then you can bring these two halves together to form the backpack of the figure, basically. And it should just sit together without a problem. Let's see if I did something wrong here. No. So it should be fine. Alright, so just like that. And then we can go ahead and get the legs. You just want to untab them here. They do tab in. You can see this little hook just tabs in right there. Bring these around, and you can see that the thigh is split back here. So we just want to come on over and just clip those the two halves of the thigh together. Just like that. Straighten out the legs. We'll come back here, and the thruster or the intake, whatever it is going to swing right up into the back of the leg, and then you can flip this part over and just cover that up, and then rotate the leg around to finish it off. Do the same on the other side. We're going to flip this up and then flip this over, and then just rotate that around, and that's basically the legs all done. Now I'll come up to the top, and once again this thing has split apart on me, but it won't matter pretty soon. Alright, so we need to go ahead and just untab this section right here, which is usually easier done by just sticking your finger in this hole and popping this guy out just like that. And we're going to go ahead and disconnect the arms, which can be tricky because they are pegged in very tightly. But once you get it all, there you go. Once you get it all untabbed, it should be pretty easy to do. We'll bring this chest piece down. Now we can go ahead and swing the arms out, just like this. Like that. There you go. And we can flip this piece in and bring the fist out like that. Bring the arm down. So there you go. You got one arm done. And then on the other side, this arm's a little more complex, but not too bad. So we've got the whole front of the plane assembly here, and you can see this rotation joint here. So we're just going to bring it up and bring it around, and then it will tab right here into this piece. And it's going to come down here, swing the hand out, and then I wish it would stop doing that. I really do wish it would stop doing that. And then you can just bring this whole section in, and it'll click into place just like that. So there you go. You can bring that arm down. And finally, we've got the head right here. Just swing that out, and then we can bring the whole section up. And these shoulder areas are just going to tab right in here. Just like that. And now, very last thing we can do is take this whole backpack section and bring it up on this accordion joint, and it's just going to accordion up against his back right there. And there we have the last knight, not Dark of the Moon, which is what my brain kept on wanting me to say. The last knight, leader Megatron. And last but not least, finally, we can intentionally clip this dumb thing and bring the cannon out. So there we have his robot mode. Alright, so again, here's his robot mode, and let's take a look at the face sculpt of Megatron here. And, yeah, it's a weird face sculpt, in my opinion. I'm not overly fond of it, to be quite honest. I prefer the Voyager class figure face sculpt. And I understand that they kind of had to, make it work with the battle mask, which I will show off in just a moment, and changes everything I just said. So basically, you've got the face sculpt here, and on the back of the head, there's this little lever that you can go ahead and pull up, and in doing so, we'll bring up the battle mask for Megatron, which looks a million times better on this guy. I think it definitely improves the overall experience and look of this guy's face. So that is the battle mask, and I quite like it. The horns make him look like he's, I don't know, like he's got Skyrim armor. Actually, he just kind of looks like he has Skyrim armor. He's got like Daedric armor or something crazy. But anyway, so here is Leader Megatron in robot mode, and you can adjust his articulation as follows. So, as you saw, his head can turn about that far. He can get a little bit of up and down wiggle just due to that transformation joint. His arms can go all the way around. His arms can go out that far. He does have a bicep swivel. He does start off with gorilla arms syndrome, but you can, in fact, rotate his wrists. Unfortunately, doing that will leave this unsightly gap, which is unfortunate, but, it is an option for you. You can do that if you so desire. You can also leave his hands kind of like halfway, so you can't really see that gap, and you can still kind of see the arm and all that stuff. On this arm, the gap is filled in by stuff from the cannon, which is nice. So you do have that option. But at the same time, this arm looks a lot better just in this position, because then he can kind of swing his, his arm up and out to deploy that cannon. So it looks, it doesn't really have a problem with the gorilla arm so much, because it seems like a much more natural position for that hand to be in. No waist articulation due to how he transforms. He does have ratcheting legs. I'll go about that far. No ratchet on the outward hips. They can go about that far. They are hindered by this hip skirt piece. I'll go about that far out. He does have thigh swivel, and he does have a knee bend, which is right about 90 degrees, as well as this ankle tilt and a little bit of toe articulation as well. So you can get some decent poses out of him. Which is good to be able to pose a leader class figure. It's not too bad. His arm cannon obviously is rather heavy, and will, weigh him down accordingly. He does have this nice big old sword, which is actually two-tone plastic. He's got or maybe it's painted, I'm not entirely sure, but it's gunmetal gray up on the blade, and the hilt is a more bluey, metallic gray that, is the rest of his body, basically. So he can hold that in either hand, and he grabs it very, very securely, very tightly. And like I said earlier, you can also store it on his back, should you so desire. And it looks pretty good there, actually. Kind of looks like he's got a shield and sword combo on his back, which is pretty neat, to be honest. Again, you can take the effects part here and plug that into the end of his cannon. So now he's like shooting flames everywhere. So you can set all your other toys on fire like a crazy person. Or, I mean, you could stick them out of the thrusters if you wanted to, or even, I guess, out of the back of here. I don't know why you would necessarily want to do that. He does have a little area to stick a flight stand as well. So you can do that. And I believe this stays in the same position in his vehicle. No, I think it's under here in his vehicle mode. But there is one for his vehicle mode as well. I just didn't show it off in that segment, so I apologize. But anyway, yeah, he's big. He's really cool. He's got a lot going on, that's for sure. And he looks like a knight in crazy armor. There you go. And I guess he could also, technically hold the fire too, if that was, if that's a thing you're really about. So you can have that option, should you so desire. And I just wanted to show him off quickly with the Voyager class Megatron as well. So obviously he's a lot bulkier, he's a lot bigger than the Voyager class Megatron. Now, honestly, I think my opinion is still that I prefer the Voyager class overall. I really like this dude's vehicle mode. His transformation, even though it said 30 steps on the package, was certainly not difficult by any stretch. But I have to say, other than the battle mask, which I really do like, I do like the face sculpt of this Megatron better for just the unmasked face. I do like this smaller profile cannon. I know it's Megatron, he needs a big cannon, but I do like this small profile cannon. I don't think it looks a little bit better. And I absolutely cannot stand the stupid gimmick for this thing. It's so fiddly and so, just annoying. It goes off all the time. On top of that, I really, really like this guy's transformation. Even for a smaller figure, it's complex, but it's so nice and satisfying seeing everything, all the airplane parts go somewhere and have, a designated spot. The way his legs transform is particularly interesting to me. And, obviously this guy is, $15 to $20 cheaper, depending on, where you're shopping, where you find him. So ultimately, I'd say the Voyager class, for me, seems like a better value overall, but I do really like the leader class as well. I think he's very, very large, very imposing looking, and, the more I look at him even right now, I'm like, yeah, that guy looks really cool. I do like this figure quite a lot, but I think overall, for bang for your buck, I'm going to say the Voyager class edges him out just a little bit, just for that really interesting, really different transformation, and for, the overall sculpt, and just the way everything just fits together. And, yeah, I mean, again, that's just my personal opinion. Yours is, it's fine if you have a different opinion than I do. I like this guy a little bit better, but I still like this guy. I don't think you're going to be ripped off getting either one, but if you can only afford one, I would say go with the cheaper option. But anyway, that is going to do it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching this review. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button. It really does help me out. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more. I will have more Transformers reviews coming up in the near future, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.